Welcome back to Genesis Custom Sabers, and this is Corran Horn's lightsaber. I wanted to build a lightsaber based on the description from the story I, Jedi by Michael Stackpole of Corran Horn's lightsaber that he designed and built out of a throttle assembly of a junk speeder bike. It was probably the most detailed description of a lightsaber construction of any of the Star Wars novels in the expanded universe, and it was just such a gripping and interesting imagery of how to build a lightsaber. So I wanted to kind of follow that imagery I read over and over again and imagine what it would look like to have a lightsaber body from a junk speeder bike, to have he said the emitter was a parabolic high energy flux aperture from a milled down fighter laser flashback suppressor. So I wanted to build something that had a look like that. I have some copper accents and a red and green accent LEDs that kind of are a throwback to, or a reference to Luke Skywalker's lightsaber, being that Luke Skywalker was the Jedi Master that trained Corran Horn. So there's just a number of things that I wanted to fit. He described a very heavy pommel. I wanted to use a kobold D-ring, so it just kind of had some classic lightsaber elements to it. It's got powder-coated media blasting here and here. Now these I haven't finished adhering because this piece here is one of the old TCS claw holders, and they've got some rubber stoppers that cover the screw holes there that I'll be gluing in place before I finish this saber. But anyways, I'll give you a rundown of how it operates. You may notice that there's no recharge port on this saber. Well, in the story, it was described that Corran Horn had to unscrew the pommel of his lightsaber to get access to the recharge port. So I've actually done that so that you could follow along with the story, and this lightsaber actually fits the description perfectly. You've got the speaker here, and of course you've got a recharge port that you can plug your recharger into that, and it does activate, or it does act as a kill switch. If you put a plug in there, it shuts off power to the rest of the saber. But in this case you don't need it because there's actually a separate kill switch on this saber, and so even though there's nothing in the recharge port, the saber is actually dead right now, because this tiny little slide switch here, which you squeeze your finger in so that you can't accidentally bump it while dueling, you slide that back, and that's your kill switch. So you actually activate the saber with controls that would be where they would be on the handlebar of a speeder bike. Of course, you've got the auxiliary button, and you've got the power button here. Standard 1-inch blade retention screw, and the color is silver. It may look blue in the video, but it's a very unique color combination of both a blue dye and a white dye from a LedEngin 10 watt. So it's a very powerful, bright silver blade. Of course, you've got two accent LEDs there because it's a Petit Crouton Sound card. So I've got a red and a green blinking LED in this case. We'll fine-tune some of the motion detection on this saber so it doesn't swing as much, and the swing isn't kicked off by the rumble motor, which is in the saber. So you can really feel it when you're using it. The brass button here is the auxiliary button. So anyways, that's how the saber operates, and that's how I've done my best to try to keep it looking exactly like the saber you would imagine from reading I, Jedi. I simulated chrome by polishing the aluminum here, and then powder coating it with a clear coat. So it's actually got a very nice feel to it, and it's not going to dull or tarnish. I'll probably be weathering this saber, but I wanted to do some imagery with it before I weathered it. But it's not done yet, because as a Mad Cow saber, I've got some work that I've done on the internal. Oops. Should probably switch off the kill key. The saber can unscrew without even taking the pommel off. And I've got a chassis that I've built in here for the Petit Crouton Sound card, 7.4 volt lithium-ion battery that's in here. And as those of you that are Corran Horn fans would recognize, there are 3 crystals in this saber in a removable crystal chassis. I want to make, well, I'll explain this first. The Corran Horn saber had a Duran-Fire main crystal, and then it described him using an emerald and a diamond in alternating slots so that he could alternate the crystal alignment in a saber to give it the dual phase capability. Now these don't operate, you can't switch them around, but I wanted the saber to come apart and actually have a look of that was accurate to Corran Horn's character with 3 crystals in the lightsaber. Now with this you can, the kill key's off, so I can gain access to the SD card by pushing in there, and it pops right out. I can lift it out with a pair of needle nose pliers, make changes to the sound card. Of course this is a Petit Crouton, so once it's locked it will only have a custom sound font, Shatterpoint, Hero, one of my fonts, as well as the user will be able to take a second SD card and have on the second SD card the light meet sound font or the dark meet sound font. So there's a max capability of 3 sound fonts with a Petit Crouton sound card that's been installed by me. This saber is not going to be for sale. However, I've designed it and built it in such a way that I can replicate it. I'm still trying to source these old school parts. Once I've got that figured out, I will be offering probably a limited run of, say, 10 of these sabers. It's the first time I've ever built and designed a saber with the intention of making more than one. Usually my shtick is that I build one-of-a-kind sabers. I wanted this design to be the Corran Horn lightsaber, and if people are interested in that, I wanted to be available to make some more. So look for those details in the coming months as I get them worked out. But thanks for checking out the saber. Hope you enjoyed it. I wanted to quickly give you an idea of the lightsaber color. I worked really hard to get a silver blade, which is different than blue or white, so I wanted to show you the difference. So that's the silver blade. It's a LedEngin. It's using the blue dye and the white dye together. This is a white LED, and that's a blue LED. So you get the idea of how different the color this is. It's not white, it's not blue, it's not purple. It's a very unique color combination. I'm using the Halcyon font by Eastern 57. I don't know if I'll offer this font with this saber. I haven't talked to him about that. But one thing I liked about this for a Corran Horn saber is it's instead of a lockup, he's got the second phase of a dual phase lightsaber. So you'll hold the lockup and you get a sense of what it would be like if you just engaged the blade and it doubled in length. So that's silver.